upgraded in any way. Odyssey was holding her right shoulder.
Oh, Sophie, you're like that? Yeah, Chloe, she's like that. She's like that. She ain't moving. And then she puts her hands on the hip. Let me talk to your manager. Oh, shit. All right, Sophie, say no more. Say no more. Now, when your teammate gets injured, you're allowed to hop on the court and just to see if your teammate's doing good. So, injured, healthy. So, Chloe, Sophie, they had every right to be on the court over here.
What should have been a celebration turned into one of the strangest scenes of the entire WNBA postseason. Sophie Cunningham, in a brace, clearly injured, standing mid-court with her teammates after a huge Indiana Fever playoff win, suddenly found herself face-to-face with a league security guard who treated her like a threat. Think about that. A player who could barely jog.
Why in the F is that security guard all up on Sophie Cunningham? And look, I think there is a reason she got up in Sophie's face, and I don't think there was any need to sort of bow up to Sophie like that. I don't think, and to Sophie's credit, she did not back down.
Just checking on a teammate, suddenly confronted as if she was storming the floor. The cameras caught it all. Sophie glaring, unimpressed, refusing to move, holding her ground. That moment didn't take hours to blow up. It took minutes. Social media caught fire. Fans didn't see security protecting the game. They saw Sophie harassed for no reason. And once her expression hit the timeline, it was over. The glare, the defiance, the unspoken message, you won't intimidate me.
Check this out right here. Yeah, you see this guy right here? Right in this gentle area. You see this guy? The ref asked this dude to step out here. All right? Now, Cheryl Swoops wants this referee fired. She wants him fired. Look, he felt something. He felt something was amiss. Of course, Cheryl Swoops is defending Dejanay Carrington.
Fans instantly turned it into a rallying cry. The reaction wasn't mixed, it was pure outrage. Why is a rent-a-cop in Sophie's face? She's hurt, she's not causing a problem. Comments poured in. Hashtags started trending. The league wanted a quiet celebration, but instead, the entire conversation flipped and Sophie became the headline of the night. But that's just the surface. Because if you've been following Sophie Cunningham's career, you know this isn't an isolated moment. She's been branded as the villain for years. Aggressive, villain, passionate, villain, defiant, villain. Meanwhile, other players get labeled as fiery leaders or competitors when they show the exact same energy. That's the double standard fans couldn't ignore. And this time, they called it out immediately. Sophie clapping for a teammate? Villain. Angel Reese clapping? Passion? Paige Bucher's yelling? Leadership. Same actions, different headlines. People saw the pattern, and they weren't holding back.
Folks, I didn't realize how much fun I would have watching these people break down. It's a meltdown. It's a meltdown on Twitter today. It's embarrassing to a certain extent. Not for me, for them. And then we got the Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever getting booed as you're getting off the court.
What made this confrontation sting even more is that it happened at a time when the Fever were already short-handed. No Caitlin Clark, half the rotation injured, yet they pulled off the upset. That was supposed to be the story. But instead, fans are replaying clips of Sophie in a brace staring down security. And that's the problem. Sophie's reputation has become so polarizing that even in moments where she does nothing wrong, the narrative twists against her. And fans are tired of it. They know her history. She's outspoken, unapologetic, and not afraid to push back on media narratives. That's why they love her. That's also why the league seems so quick to frame her as the problem. And this is where things get messy, because Sophie isn't the only one living this reality. Caitlin Clark has been hacked, shoved, and taunted since her rookie season, yet the whistles barely come. The league shrugs, the refs look away, and the message is clear. Deal with it. Fans see Clark's treatment, they see Sophie's treatment, and they connect the dots.
Sophie Cunningham, because she's white, she's beautiful, all these things, right? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100, as they say. Sophie Cunningham's the most beautiful woman in this league. All right, she's the hottest woman in this league, and they're mad they can't be her.
The league protects certain players, but others, they get labeled, sidelined, or ignored. And the double standard is impossible to miss. If Angel Reese gets booed, league leadership rushes to defend her. If Sophie gets confronted by security, silence. If Clark gets blindsided by a hard foul, silence. The favoritism is obvious, and fans aren't imagining it. That's why hashtags like Free Sophie and WNBA Exposed started trending within hours. It wasn't just about a single incident. It was about years of patterns, years of frustration, years of watching the league enforce rules selectively depending on who's involved. And the moment you add Sophie's glare into that context, the storyline writes itself. She's being singled out. Fans were blunt about it. Some said it's about image. Some said it's about race. Some said it's about the league not knowing how to handle players who refuse to play the smiling mascot role. Whatever the reason, the perception is growing. Sophie Cunningham is treated differently, and the league just handed her fans all the evidence they needed in one viral clip. But the story didn't stop with outrage. It snowballed.
It was one of those games. It was such a good W game. Like it was physical. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of great plays. But I just knew deep down in my gut that we were gonna win. Like somehow we were gonna win. And like I think there was like a minute or like 40. I don't even know. Like around 40 seconds left. And they left our all-star player wide open under the hoop for the go-ahead layup. And then Lexi Hall had a freaking badass steal, and like it was over.
Because the more fans talked about it, the more they started digging. This wasn't just a Sophie problem, it was a WNBA problem. People started pointing out how often the league sidelines its most marketable stars. Sophie's clips trend, her interviews pop, her name always sparks conversation. Yet the league never puts her front and center in their promos. Caitlin Clark is the biggest draw in women's basketball history, yet she gets hacked with no calls, shoved while refs swallow the whistle, and treated like she's supposed to just take it. Lexi Hull makes a clutch defensive play in the playoffs, barely a mention. Time and time again, the league claims it wants growth, respect, and mainstream relevance. But then moments like this happen, and the league itself becomes the punchline. Fans aren't dumb. They see selective promotion. They see selective outrage. They see who gets protected and who gets thrown under the bus. And when they see Sophie Cunningham, injured and harmless, getting barked at by a security guard while just waiting for a teammate, it confirms what they've believed for years. She's being singled out. That's why the backlash wasn't polite, it was a firestorm. Fans shredded Commissioner Kathy Engelbert online, calling the league unserious, calling for accountability, demanding investigations. And meanwhile, Sophie herself? She handled it like only Sophie can. No meltdown, no rant, no pity party. She laughed it off, cracked a few jokes, and reminded people that she thrives on being underestimated. Every time the league tries to box her out, her fan base only grows louder. Every time she gets cast as the villain, her popularity spikes. And that's the irony. The league thinks targeting Sophie weakens her, but it does the opposite. Fans love underdogs. They love players who refuse to bow down. They love people who keep it real, and Sophie embodies all of that. That's why the clip went viral. It wasn't about drama she caused. It was about drama she endured, and the way she refused to flinch. But here's where the fallout stretches even further. Because casual fans, the ones the WNBA desperately needs to keep, saw this too. Many of them came in through Caitlin Clark. They turned on a playoff game hoping to see competition, grit, and great basketball. And instead, what went viral wasn't the Fever's resilience or Lexi Hull's steel. It was Sophie versus the security guard. That's what got shared, that's what got memed, and that's what people outside the WNBA bubble talked about. And when newcomers see that, they don't walk away impressed. They walk away thinking the league is more concerned with petty drama than protecting its players or promoting the game. That's not growth, that's collapse disguised as buzz. And the league can't afford many more nights like that. At the center of it all sits Sophie Cunningham, a player in a leg brace, standing with teammates, showing loyalty and defiance, and somehow turned into the villain of the night. Fans aren't buying it. They've already decided she was wronged. They've already turned her into the symbol of resistance. And once that perception takes hold, no PR statement or spin will change it. Sophie didn't need to scream. She didn't need to fight. She didn't need to prove anything. She just had to stand there, glare, and remind everyone she's not backing down. That image will outlast the game itself. And that's why this moment matters. Because once again, the WNBA's biggest storyline isn't about the basketball being played. It's about the league getting in its own way. Sophie Cunningham versus security shouldn't have been the headline, but it was. And until the league starts protecting and promoting its real stars instead of singling them out, this pattern will repeat itself. So now the question isn't just about Sophie, it's about the future of the league. Is she being singled out, or are we watching the start of a bigger battle between the WNBA's most unapologetic stars and a league that still doesn't know how to handle them? You tell me.